Hello and welcome to Everyday Champions in Business presented by Action Coach Dane County. Action Coach is the world's #1 business coaching company, and this is your opportunity to hear the stories, the tips, and the insider information that makes business and entrepreneurship the greatest game on the planet. I'm Rob Maniaci, Enrollment Specialist with Action Coach Dane County, and today it's my pleasure to introduce Cody Weisman of Weisman Capital. Did I get that right?
You did. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks, Cody. Appreciate you joining us. Just right off the bat, tell us your role with the company, how long you've been there, and if you have any employees or are you running solo?
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks again, Rob, for having me. Again, my name is Cody Wiseman with Wiseman Capital. I'm the founder and CEO, and what Wiseman Capital is we are a multifamily development and syndication company. Simply put, we go out and find apartment deals and real estate deals to buy and develop, and then we work with passive investors to pool our money together and purchase those. So I started this company 19 months ago. I've been full-time at it. We just closed on, May 30th of 24. We just closed on another building, which is a 129 unit development here in Madison, Wisconsin. So currently I work with different teams and stuff like that. So architects, it's just me at Wiseman Capital right now. And then my pool of investors who I'm always adding to that network as well.
Okay, great. I appreciate that description. Unpack it a little more. How does it work? You identify a property and reach out to the community to see if you can get folks to invest and then turn it around, or
Yeah. Great question, Rob. So I always say Wiseman Capital, it's kind of two different businesses is the way that I look at it and run it and in the funnels and stuff like that. So one half of the business is we're real estate investors, right? So I'm out there looking for deals, building networks with brokers that are bringing me off-market deals, looking at development opportunities. So how can we, repurpose a property? How can we build this property? How can we buy this apartment and turn it around and make it operate more efficiently, bring rents up or add value that way? So there's a real estate component, but then there's also the capital component, right? So we are also working with passive investors. So those can be non-accredited or accredited investors as long as they have a relationship with me. And once they're on my investor list, I then notify them of, hey, we've got this deal that you might be of interest. If we are, we hold a webinar or have a Zoom meeting or a coffee meeting or a lunch and walk through it. I put an investor presentation together, say, here's our business plan. Here's why we like it. Here's the risk. At the end of the day, it's an investment, right? So there's always risk to that. And I always like to start with that. It's not this, perfect world where everything goes right in real estate, but often we can, often what we do is we can double the investor money within about a 5-year period is kind of the metrics that we look at when we're underwriting. We've done that on a few properties already where we've gone full cycle, meaning we purchased them, added value, sold them, got returned back to the investors, and continued to grow that way. I also started the Madison Multifamily Meetup as a way to help educate investors and potential investors, whether if they're brand new to the game or have been doing it for 30 years and have 2,000 apartment buildings. The Madison Multifamily Meetup is where people get together and network with like-minded individuals. And there's also a learning component. We usually have 20 to 30-minute presentation from some sort of topic. But other than that, it's all about networking. And I'm thankful to work with sponsors. So we get drinks and appetizers and really try to add that value at the highest level possible.
So you are super answer. Yeah, you are super busy. How many people in that group?
Oh my gosh, let's see. So I started that back 19 months ago, actually. So it was November 2022 when I hosted the first one, and it's a quarterly event. And we have anywhere from the first event, we had 76 people there, which we're like, that's pretty awesome. And we've now grown it to consistently anywhere from 175 to 225 people. And those range, again, from passive investors who have never done a deal and they want to, put $50,000 from their IRA into the deal, or a person looking to buy their first duplex, or we've got developers and contractors and owners of, like I said, 30 years a minute ago that have a couple thousand units. So it's really a great range of individuals that are coming to that. I mean, we've got a list of a couple thousand investors that are on that list and have, had interest and attended. We also do some online webinars to help educate and empower investors, whether if they want to be an active investor and buy a duplex on their own or passively invest. We still want passive investors to know what they're getting into, right? We want them to know the basics of how do we add value in multifamily real estate? What is a cap rate? How does higher interest rates impact the value and so on and so forth? But they don't need to be experts, just enough to be dangerous.
Yep. Okay. It's been 19 months. What's the long-term vision for this company? Where do you want to be 3, 5, 10 years down the road?
Yeah, great question. So my goal in the next year is to start building an actual team out, right? So like I said, I've been very fortunate to build good partnerships and bringing people in on the general partner team and help get these deals done. But I'm running out of bandwidth, right? So running the meetup, finding the deals, working with investors. So as we grow over the next 12 to 18, 24 months is to find kind of that next 1 to 2 people to come on and help underwrite some deals and get those deals brought to the table, and then we can vet them out. Especially when you're working in development, there's a lot that goes into that, from city neighborhood meetings, financing. You also have to be building relationships with lenders, new investors. Always want to continue to grow the Madison Multifamily Meetup, which is actually the largest multifamily investor meetup in the whole Midwest. So continuing to grow that way. We want to keep growing in the Madison area, and then in probably 3 to 5 years start in another market as well. So we really want to get our footing here and build up the team here, and then start identifying other cities, primarily in the Midwest. We really do like. Is where our focus is going to be.
Get this one running on all 4 cylinders, and then duplicate it somewhere else.
Yep. I always say, I want to grow, and I want to grow quick, but I don't want to get too far ahead of my skis, right? I think there's good in growth, but there also can be, some challenges, and we want to be well equipped to handle those challenges as they come. But there's going to be challenges no matter what, so you just have to deal with it and figure it out as you go.
When you think of your investors, beyond the opportunities and the ROI, what is the real value you're providing them? What's the problem you're solving for those folks?
Yeah, so there's a few problems, right? Number one, nearly everybody I talk to wants to invest in real estate in some capacity, but the biggest problem is they don't know where to start. They don't have the expertise. They don't have the time. A lot of the people that I'm working with are busy W-2 employees with a family. They've got kids. They don't want to give up their weekends in Thursday night at midnight when you've got a leaky toilet from a tenant calling you. Even if you're an active owner and you hire a third-party property manager, you still have to manage that asset. You still have to watch the property manager. Not that they can't be trusted, but trust but verify is what we like to use in our industry. So that's number one, is just giving them access to these institutional quality investments run by somebody who's doing this full time. That was before I, started taking on investor money and stuff like that at this scale where I'm raising millions of dollars at once. I made a commitment to myself that I was going to leave my job and do this full time and be full committed, right? I truly believe is you've got to be all in and burn those boats and take the island. The other thing when it comes to investors is just when they're working with me is they're getting me, right? You can jump on a call with me. You get to see my commitment. If you follow me on social media, I'm posting behind the scenes. I'm out at the job site every freaking day. That's why I was late today. I was 15 minutes late because I was out walking, somebody through the property, showing them the progress and hanging some stuff up there for some banners and stuff. So I'm a very active person when it comes to this business. I am Wiseman Capital, Cody Wiseman. This is my baby that I take pride in. The other piece is when they're working with me, I'm putting my own money in. I'm not just raising other people's money and buying deals. In this last deal, I put the most money in, right? I put in over 10% of the money that we actually had to put in of my own cash. And then I'm also signing on the loan. Our passive investors, they don't have to sign on the loan. They're a limited partner. I'm a general partner. So I sign on the loan. So if a deal goes sideways and it's recourse, I lose everything I have. Yeah. So it's that commitment. It's the money that I'm putting in. And first and foremost is it's helping those invest in real estate and live that life that they want to without the headaches of real estate investing, if you will.
Great information. Appreciate that. Let's shift gears a little. We're going to move to some rapid fire questions.
All right.
With this one, we want your best short, quick response to
All
these
right.
following questions. Okay. So first one, beyond friends and family, who is someone you really admire?
Oh my gosh. I would say so I've got a couple of really strong advisors in my company. One of them is Matt Piceni. He has actually come and spoke at a meetup and stuff like that. But he was 2022 multifamily syndicator of the year, has over 10,000 apartment units. He's helped coach me, teach me underwriting. And then Rod Cleef is another mentor of mine that really he used to follow Tony Robbins around the world, so he's very big into the life power and in mindset stuff, and that's what a lot of this game is. So those two, outside of friends and family, really kind of like showed me the confidence that I can do this, and I built that right foundation before I took that leap of faith into starting my own thing. So I built that good foundation and then went all in.
Great to have those resources. What is your key to success, Cody?
Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm trying to be successful every day, if you will. But honestly, persistence in just staying after it, right? I mean, even with this last project that we closed, I mean, we had it under contract for over 1 year. We ran into every issue you could imagine, from a deed restriction that we had to go back and forth on for months, to the way that we had to meter the property due to state legislation, to the lender pulling out 11 days before closing. So we wouldn't get that deal done without persistence. And that's really just kind of blind faith sometimes and just keep moving forward. So persistence is a quick way to sum that up.
Cody, what's a must-read book?
Well, if you're in real estate, I always like to say Rich Dad Poor Dad. I mean I feel like the Purple Bible almost is everybody's favorite answer, but it's really what shifted my mindset years ago into how real estate can work, and cash flow and assets and liabilities and stuff like that. So it really shifted my mindset. So it's kind of a generic answer, but yeah, Rich Dad Poor Dad is a
That's
in my
that's
opinion.
great. That's what we're looking for. First thing off the top of your head. Advice for a brand new business owner.
Oh my gosh, it depends on what business and stuff like that. But quick answer is just do it.
Just do it.
Just do
Good.
it.
Where can we find you online?
Yeah, so you can follow me on social media. So I'm on LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook. It's Cody Wiseman. So Cody E is an Eric for my initial, Wiseman. Otherwise at wisemancapitalgroup.com.
Perfect. Thank you for that. And nice job on the rapid fire questions.
Thank you.
Is there anything you'd like to include in the form of an offer, a call to action, anything you'd like to promote for the folks watching the video?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if anybody is anybody in their network or themselves want to learn more about investing in real estate, and how that might work from a passive standpoint, feel free to reach out. I offer free discovery calls. I can help answer questions, share the behind the scenes. The unique thing too is, when, like I mentioned earlier, when you're on my investor list after we have a conversation, you do not need to be an accredited investor. To invest in my deals. A lot of people think I've got to be this, multimillionaire to invest, $50,000-$100,000 into your deal. No, and there's also ways that you can invest with old 401ks through a self-directed IRA. So there's a lot of different ways that people can do it. So if anybody's interested in learning, would love to connect, reach out on any of the social channels or wisemancapitalgroup.com, submit a form, and we'll get a call set up or grab a coffee if you're local to Madison or traveling through.
Yeah, thanks for that. Free discovery call. Out of curiosity, when is the next meetup, and can anyone attend those?
Yeah, great question. So the next meetup will be in September. We don't have a date locked in yet. That's something I've got to do here in the next week or two. But it's at the It's at the Madison Club. So downtown Madison. It's free for anybody to attend. We just ask that you RSVP via Eventbrite ahead of time, because we do run out of room, especially once we start, getting up over 220 people. And like I said, we want to make sure that we're offering that, same experience and that value. So we just ask that anybody that wants to come to RSVP.
All right. Last question then. Here, all topics are wide open. It doesn't necessarily have to be business and real estate investment, but it can be if you want. Cody, what is most inspiring to you these days?
Oh my gosh. outside of business and stuff like that, I mean, I guess just the most thing inspiring is my family. Like so my fiance, my parents, like so many times. In fact, I just texted her this morning. I'm just like so thankful for our life, right? I don't know if that really answers a question, but like it just being grateful along the way. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect. I get in, these focused time frames at work, and you sometimes forget to be grateful. But when you take a step back and see how far you've come, so the gap versus the gain, I like to try to focus on the gain rather than the gap.
Mm-hmm.
So that to me is inspiring, is when you can actually take that step back and say, holy shit, look what I've done so far. I still have goals, but like I want to be present. And those moments that you can be present, it to me is extremely inspiring, and like almost takes you to that next level. Those resets of like, wow, look what I've just done. Now I'm more excited to go and get back at it and grow again.
Yeah, no, good, a good answer. That's what we're looking for there. Thank you. And also, thank you for being our guest on Everyday Champions in Business. That wasn't too hard, was it?
No, it was awesome. I appreciate it. They were great questions, Rob. Very engaging. So hopefully this added some value to some of your listeners, and I hope to connect with you and some of your community members in the future in person.
All right.
Awesome.
Good. Yeah, I hope so too. Before I let you go, as a thank you for your participation, we are going to send you a copy of Joe Theismann's book, How to Be a Champion Every Day, autographed by Joe, by the
All
way.
right.
So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, that wraps it up. Thank you so much, Cody. This was very informative. Nice job. And yeah, wish you much prosperity and success.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Rob. I appreciate it.
Yep, my pleasure.